Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line of your lineage goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halak from the GMS Denver camp, coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah with another lesson. And this is going to be a part 2 to the lesson I did earlier, entitled, what was it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. It is easy for the Lord to feed us in famine, right? Just these, these crazy things that are about to happen in the earth, by way of these different judgments that the Most High is going to bring as a punishment upon the people. It is an easy thing for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah to take care of us and to feed us in these different situations we're going to be in the midst of, man. Because you have a lot of so-called Israelites out here spewing of a doctrine of unbelief, a doctrine of having no faith, telling you ain't no miracles going to happen, so forth and so on, when that's how we're going to overcome all these things, man, by having faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah and him working a miracle for us through his son Yahweh Shah. You see, that's how we're going to be fed, man. That's how we're going to be taken care of and protected in these times of peril that we're coming into. A lot of these camps outside of Great Millstone and the brothers who teach the same doctrine as Great Millstone, they really don't understand what this is all about, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is about to do mighty things on behalf of his servants, and that's constantly reiterated through the scriptures. Now, in this part 2, like in part 1, I went through a few scriptures showing you how the Most High says he's going to take care of his servants. So what I want to do in this part 2 is give you a few examples of mighty miracles the Most High worked on behalf of his servants, man. Well, I want to start right here in Matthew 6 and verse 25 with the words of our Lord Yahweh Shah. You see these comforting words that he gave unto us for us to what? Not fret, not worry, not be in the spirit of the people in don't be in the same spirit as the people in the world, because when it goes down, they have no hope. But we have something to look to. We have a God to call on, man. We have his son to call on. That's what we've been doing. That's what we've been rehearsing over and over and over again. And we've been taken care of all this entire time. So we have a hope, man. So when it goes down and there's a lack of food and there's a lack of resources, we don't have to worry about nothing. Because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah has promised to take care of us. Now it says what? The cure for anxiety. Matthew 6 and 25 says what? Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for the body what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat and the body than raiment? So our Lord Yahweh Shah is telling us don't worry about these things, man. That's something that we shouldn't even be worried about. Now, do brothers get extra things, canned goods, beans, water? Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. See, but we're not doing it as if that's our end all be all. That's our salvation. That's what the people of the world do, because we know and understand it. You might be found in a situation where you can't get back to those things that you have stored up. Now what do? You see? And the answer to that is what? Trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah that he will make a way as he's always done. Salakia. So let's read Matthew 6 and 25 again. It says, what? Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not life more than meat and the body more than raiment? So we've been commanded not to worry about these things, man. Yeah, we're about to go through a time of famine where there is going to be a lack of resources, a lack of food, a lack of water. All these things must happen, and we know they're happening for what? As a punishment upon the wicked, like we got in the first part. Those are spirits of vengeance. So we have to and the spirits of vengeance are for what? To punish the wicked unto destruction, not those who serve Yahweh. So we don't have to worry about those things. Listen, verse 26. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, but gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? And you can go out here and see rabbits out here feeding, eating grass. You can see the Most High give a crow or a raven his food for the day by having a fucking a squirrel get ran over and becoming roadkill. That feeds the raven for the day. Or hell, even the squirrel. The squirrels go to the trees and get the nuts. All that is because of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You see? Are we not much better than animals? Of course we are. We're the sons of God. And not only the sons of God, we're the sons of God who serve the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. So we're much better than the animals, man. So if the Most High feeds the animals, you don't think he will feed you? This is the mindset we have to take into the time of Jacob's trouble when all hell is breaking loose around us, man. Verse 27 says what? Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit unto his stature? No one. We don't have that type of power. It says what? Verse 28. And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore the Most High so clothed the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven. Shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? And that is what? Say, you have to be on the run. You can't come back to the home where all your raiment is, which are your clothing, your shoes, or whatever. You think the Most High won't provide some raiment out there in the world for you? He might have you come across a day it's raining. He might have you come across a raincoat. You see? You might just be out there wandering for miles and miles and miles on end. The Most High might bring you to a place where you can have some shelter and rest your head for a little bit. That's what that book of Eli portrayed. That's what Eli was doing. He was just moving in faith. Couldn't see a damn thing, just moving, letting the Most High guide him. The opening scene, what happened? The Most High led him to a brand new pair of boots. Because his old boots were out. The Most High can do these things, man. These are miracles. And miracles will be worked on behalf of the servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, those who believe. It is nothing to the Most High to provide these things. So we don't need to be out here running around like chickens with our head cut off when everything collapses and we out of our comfort zone, when we can no longer come back to our homes. We can no longer sleep in these comfortable beds that the Most High has blessed us to sleep in. We can no longer have the clothes to put on our back that we've bought and purchased and thought they look cool, or so forth and so on. Everything is going to be shaken up, and all you're going to be left with is your faith, your fear and your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And that's why the apostles of Great Millstone had been so adamant about doing this thing the right way, man. Because it was not about putting on a show. It was not about getting clout or vainglory or doing this for filthy lucre's sake. It was not about none of those things, man. It was about building our relationship with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You see, while everything is running smoothly now. So when it collapses, you have an established relationship with the Most High through his Son Yahweh Shah that you can lean on, you see, and find comfort in. The majority of the world, they can't do this, what we're about to do. And when it goes down and famine really hits, they don't have no idea where their next meal is coming from. So guess what? They will do anything to get it, including murder and eat their own children. That's what the prophecy lets us know is coming. But for us, we don't have to be out here in that spirit. Because we know and understand that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will feed us. He will take care of us. Anything that we need is always been given to us, if it was the Most High's will for us to have it. And in this time of peril, it won't be no different, man. Verse 31. Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. You see that? That's the Gentiles' way of thinking. We don't have to. If we ain't ate in a couple of days, all right, cool. Go on a fast. We've been doing that anyway. We've been practicing fasting. You see? 24-hour fast, 48-hour fast, 72-hour fast. We've been practicing these things, man. Mortifying the flesh, so we can be prepared for the things that we're about to come into. When you think the last time an American fasting, unless it's one of those health guys, you see, they're not they're just fasting for health benefits. We're fasting to get closer to the Most High. It's a difference. You see? But worrying about all these things, man, that's the Gentiles' way of thinking. We don't have to worry about that. You see, because we have a God, you see, that controls every element that surrounds you. It ain't shit for the Most High to have an angel snap his finger and bring you a steak dinner just out of thin air. That's light for the Most High, man. But it goes on to say in verse 32, for your heavenly Father knoweth that you need all these things. We need food, we need raiment, we need shelter. The Most High knows these things. Now he'll might have you go without for a few days, just to see where your head at, just to see where your spirit at. But he knows that we need all these things, man. You see? Verse 33 says what? But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. And that's what we've been doing first and foremost. That's what this grace period was all about, seeking after the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Not trying to tie the ministry to a government entity by getting a 501c3 so you can get tax breaks and all this shit. It wasn't about vainglory. It wasn't about wearing matching uniforms and marching in formation and chanting cadences. It was not trying to be the hardest Israelite gangster thug crip nigga. It wasn't about none of that, man. This grace period was about us building up our relationship with the Most High God through Yahweh Shai. You see? That's what we've been practicing. Practicing having faith. And the Most High has been taking us through trials and tribulations this entire time to test our faith. Having us go through certain situations to see what we was going to do. Then brought women in our lives that we really fucked with and cared about. You see? And had that bitch bug out and started tripping just to see what you would do. Took her away just to see what you would do. You see? Brought you in a low financial situation just to see what you would do. Some brothers were homeless for a little bit just to see what you would do. You see? And all that has been what? Training us up in the spirit to have faith, man. And to just trust in the Lord. So when it's game time, it won't be no pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be easier for us because we've been practicing this. Because we've been actually seeking after the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai first and foremost. Verse 34 says what? Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Because you ain't made it out of this day. Why you ain't made it out of the day that you're in yet? So what you worry about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months from now? Day by day, man. Day by day. Because each day gonna come with its own challenges. Some days harder than others. You see? But all that anxiety, hey, don't worry about it. It's good. You're gonna be taken care of. Now what I want to do, I want to get a little bit of these examples right here where the Most High just fed us, you see, like it was nothing. So this is second Exodus. This is Exodus 16 and 1. 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 It says what? Yahweh provides manna. You see that? Yahweh provides manna. And they took, also Exodus 16:1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin. Sheesh. The wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to the Most High we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Now, come on. And that just shows the lack of faith that Jake had, because why would the Most High go through all that work of bringing all these plagues upon Egypt, killing all the firstborn in Egypt, having a chariot show up to defend us from the Egyptians, parting the Red Sea, you see, so we can go on dry land and drowning the Egyptians in the midst of the Red Sea? Why would the Most High do all that work, do all those miraculous things just to bring us in the wilderness to allow us to starve to death? That just shows you that Jake had a lack of faith, which is being exhibited by a lot of these guys now as we get closer to the end. A complete lack of faith, man. The most High, you know, he didn't bring us in the wilderness to kill us, man. And we know the first generation that came out of Egypt didn't make it because of what? Because of their unbelief. And this is an example why. Verse 4 says what? Then said Yahweh unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day. Daily bread, you see that? That I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day that they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. Why? Because it was in preparation of the Shabbat, the Sabbath, where you couldn't do anything, no manual labor. You know, that was a day of rest. That's why they gathered double on the 6th day. Verse 6 says what? And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel at even, then ye shall know that Yahweh have brought you out of Egypt, out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of Yahweh, for he heareth your murmurers against Yahweh. And what are we, that ye murmur against us? Verse 8 says what? And Moses said, this shall be when Yahweh shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurs are not against us, but against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And a lot of Israelites are still to this day murmuring in the wilderness. There ain't nobody got the 100% truth. I got my own personal relationship against the Most High. So all this is talking shit. Because they are the Israelites. But it goes on to say, and Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto all the congregation, and Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yahweh, for ye have heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in a cloud, a chariot. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh your power. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp in the morning, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. Do you see that? In the wilderness, the Most High fed us with quails, man. Fed us with manna. Out of nowhere. And he can do the same thing in this time, and he will do the same thing this time, probably, and on an even higher level, you see, for his name to be glorified. Because in the midst of famine, the only ones who are going to be eaten are the servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. You see? 14 says what? And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, It is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which Yahweh have sent, which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah have given you to eat. So just like he gave us manna in the wilderness, who's to say at the Most High, he can give us manna here? You see? In Babylon the Great, while everybody else is starving. You see? It's nothing for the Most High to do that. So that's why we take no thought for that. We don't have to worry about it. When famine comes, that's food is going to be the least of our worries. Because we know the power we serve, man. We know his son, Yahweh Shah. It says what? This is the thing which Yahweh have commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. But you get the point. You can go read the rest on your own. You see, the Most High fed us quail and manna in the wilderness, in the desert. The Most High made manna come up. He made quails appear. You see that? That's one account. Let's get another one. Because I mentioned these accounts in the first part that I did earlier. Now I want to go back and just go into the accounts. But these are things that the Most High did. And these are similar things like this is going to happen here in these last days. So 1 Kings 17:1, it says what? Elijah predicts drought, right? It says, And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, As Yahweh God of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, according to my word. And the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, Get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Come on, man. So the Most High can have his servants tucked away somewhere, and animals bringing them food. You see, we've had so many random occurrences of wild animals just crossing our paths. I was somewhere the other day, and a wild turkey just came out of nowhere. Bros have been driving around and just seeing random lambs walking down the street. Just random lambs in the street. The brother he stayed further away in the city. He stayed further out in the country or whatever. He has wild turkeys just all around his spot. So it's nothing for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah to feed us. And then he can put the spirit upon the ravens and the crows, or whoever it may be, to bring us food. You have to believe these things, man. To have this, you're going to have that understanding when we come into these perilous times when all hell is breaking loose, because carnally it's going to look like ain't no fucking way, man. That's how bad it's going to be. But in the spirit, we know, look, man, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has taken care of us in some of the harsh conditions that we've ever gone through. This time is no different. You see? But he fed his prophet Elijah by way of the ravens, man. Verse 5 says what? So he went and did according unto the word of Yahweh. For he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening. And he drank of the brook. He had breakfast. He had dinner. He went on an intermittent fast in between those two feeding periods, man. and what is the intermittent fast? You know what I'm saying? Just a few hours without eating, and he was good. Imagine drinking that water out of that brook. Come on, man. Verse 7 says what? And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. And the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. There's another account. When it's time for us to move on the spot, hey, fuck it. Most I say is move, let's move. Because he can have somebody waiting for us to sustain us. Romans 15:4 says what? For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. That's why these things are written and recorded, man. For us to look to understand our power. To understand what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai does for his servants that serve him. He was taking care of his servant Elijah. So he fed him by the brook Cherith. I mean, he gave him water out of the brook Cherith till it dried up. And he had the ravens bring him food for breakfast and for dinner. When that stopped, he had what? A widow already set up, prepared to sustain Elijah. Provision was already made. And it's no different with us here in this time, man, as long as we continue on in the faith. Verse 10 says what? So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, As Yahweh thy power liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. So she was prepared. She was already like, man, this is all I got. I'm going to go ahead and start this fire, man, and prepare this food, and this is going to be me and my son's last meal. She was already about it. She was ready to go. You see? But what does Elijah say? Verse 13. And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me therefore a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. For thus saith Yahweh, God of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that Yahweh sendeth rain upon the earth. And I mentioned that earlier, like, bro, we could be walking around with a gallon of water. We've been and drunk all of it, and we're just carrying the jug around with us just to have some water to put back into it whenever we come across another source. And I was just thinking, man, what if you just walking and you finish the last bit of water, and as you're walking, the Most High just refilling it. Now he refills your water just out of nowhere. The Most High can do that, man. The Most High can do that. Yahweh Shai can do that. You see? Now listen. This woman moved in an obedient spirit and did what the man of the Lord told her to do. And she did it out of what? Faith. Because she could have said, man, nigga, gone. I ain't got no time to be playing with you. All I got is this. I'm making this for my son. You got to fend for yourself. But she didn't do that. She wasn't in that spirit. What spirit was she in? It says what? Verse 15. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah. And she and he and her house did eat many days. And And the reason it was because what? She did it out of faith by taking heed to the man of the Lord. And this is why whoever helps the man of the Lord out in these times, they're going to be blessed. And that's the position she found herself in. She was blessed because she helped out a man of the Lord, and her household was able to eat for many days because the Most High replenished what was in that barrel. He didn't let it fail. He didn't let that cruse of oil dry up. He kept it replenished. Just imagine that. Because all hope was lost for her. She was like, man, we going in here. We about to eat this last meal. We going to die. We ain't got nothing else. Then the prophet comes along and you watching this barrel of meal replenish on a daily. Hey, that's why the scriptures tell you. I got that in the first part. While everybody else is going through hell in the times of trouble, the servants of the Lord are going to be what? They're going to be merry and have abundance. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Verse 16 says what? And the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which he spake by Elijah. And his prophets are here today telling you these same type of miracles are going to be worked on the behalf of the true believers, man. You see? Because it's nothing for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to feed us in famine. You see that? Let's get let me see. Oh man, where is it? There you go. Matthew 14. This is our Lord Yahweh Shah. Right? 5,000 fed. And it was more than 5,000 because it tells you it was 5,000 men, you see, and their wives. You know they had children out there, so it was more than 5,000. Now listen to this. Now this is our brother who has received all power in heaven and in earth now, because of his obedience unto the Most High, even unto death. This is what he was doing before he went back into the fullness of his glory. Now imagine what he can do for us now that he's back in the fullness of his glory. Now listen. Matthew 14 and 13. It says, when Yahushua heard it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. 14. And Yahushua went forth and saw a great multitude and was moved with compassion toward them. And he healed their sick. And he did it because what? They had faith that he could. Because like he told that woman, thy faith have healed thee. You see? It's all about faith, man. The just shall live by faith. You see? Verse 15. And when it was evening, his disciples came saying, this is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. Verse 16. But Yahushua said unto them, they need not depart, give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, we have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. You see? For all these people, 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Verse 18. He said, bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake and gave the loaves to his disciples. and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. You see that? Five loaves and 2 fishes. And he fed a multitude with that. Before he came back into the fullness of his glory. So imagine what he can do for us now that he's back in his glory. Come on, man. Come on. You see? That's why we don't have to take thought during the time of famine. Shit, we don't have to take thought now. You see? But it goes on to say, I'll read 20 again. Matthew 14:20 says, and they did all eat and were filled, and they took up the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. Out of 5 loaves and 2 fishes, they took up 12 baskets full. Do you see the increase? Out of us, just a small, you see, small portion of food, man, just a small bit of food, he was able to magnify to the point to where he fed 5,000 plus and still had leftover. "21. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children." So that's over 5,000. You see that? That's why we don't have to worry, man. And the Most High has reassured us through the Comforter that he would take care of us in the time of famine. And there's nothing. It's easy for him to do. You just have to have faith. And it's possible. It's possible through faith. Hey, shit, and that's why that this multitude of men and women and children were fed, because they had faith in Yahushua. Come on, man. But that was just some accounts I wanted to get to make a part 2, because I just went into a few scriptures earlier, and I didn't really go into no accounts, but I have the accounts here to prove that it can be done, that it was done, and that it will be done for us here in these last days, in these perilous times that we're about to find ourselves coming into, man. All through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And so with that, I'm going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has created us to do. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wa, Abba, Babal.